ハロー、ハロー。よろしくお願いします。どうも。私はここでね、謎の日本語で喋ってるだけなんで。2P コントローラー。こうしようか。よもう、よろしくお願いします。ちょっと少々お待ちを。ちょっと待ってね。ディスコードに入ればいいってことかな。ああ、はいはい。ハロー、ハロ
こんにちは。
ー。はい、こんにちは。はい。音声は大丈夫でしょうか。
ちょっと待ってください。
はい。
ここから大丈夫そう。あ、ちょっとね、秋山さん、
はい。
OBS の画面を
はい。
ここで、ディスコードで共有できますか？
OK。スタジオ。
はい。完璧です。
Can you two talk a little bit so I can hear on the game
Yes.
side?
Yes. Please, I was just gonna say, please check if the audio is actually being captured this time. A Discord call. If not, I'll just tell him to add the desktop audio. Alright, so I'll start speaking if I'm interested in your so this is Megami Tensei 2. This game released in 89, I'm pretty sure. This version was. It was re-released in 94. I'm just throwing numbers out there. For the SNES, I think most people have played that version instead of this one, but this one just got very recently, I think 2 years ago or so, localized with a fan patch.
Okay. Akiabo, can you talk a little bit as well? Akiabo-san, Hanashi Kudasai, please.
はいはい。はい。
と、
Cool. Scion's you're a little quiet again.
Okay, I'll try to
Ah.
get close to the mic. This mic really needs you to get up close. How about now? Is it any better?
Sorry, what was that?
If I get any closer to the mic, is that any better?
A little
No, I'll
bit,
ask
but
you
like
to
I'm
leave.
listening and I'm like loud as hell, and you're like a little
Okay.
quiet.
Huh. That's
So,
I'll
you
check
could
the
pull up a
volume
stream
on
and
my
check
audio.
that, check it there as well. Like you can kind of listen to yourself that way.
You're right.
I imagine you're gonna be
Um,
doing more of the talking.
Oh yeah, I'm really quiet. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
秋山さん、
はい。
僕の音声の音量を
おい。大きく。
上げることができますか？
ゲーム音声、はい。アップ、オフ。
いや、ゲーム音声じゃなくて、僕の音声ということ
了解です。はい、上げました。
はい。ありがとうございます。Okay, let's check now. Is that any better?
Oh, I wasn't checking trying to do cropping.
I think it's better. But the game is gonna get a little louder, so maybe you should lower the game audio.
Yeah.
It's probably the lowest. Most of the sound is like pretty high pitched throughout the game.
I'll let you make that call on stuff like that.
I think maybe just a little bit. Maybe we should adjust just a little bit. 秋山さん。
はい。
すみません。ゲームの音量を下げることができますか？
下げます。
うん。
OK。
はい、ありがとうございます。Okay, it should be better now.
Alright. All I gotta do is get this cropped, put it in the right spot. I should put the stream live. They can't hear us yet.
Okay.
So, but the stream is live.
Stream is live. All right. Stream just for the chat. Streaming on Tensei now. Okay, there you go.
You know if there's an easy screen that's gonna be like like as big as it gets?
Yes, this should be as big as it gets. Maybe I can ask him to open the menu because the menu has like a border.
Yeah, like the left border. That's like the big thing I'm missing here for the screen.
秋山さん、
はい、
メニューを開けてもいいですか？
メニュー。
はい。Okay, perfect. Company. Okay, that's you see the borders around that. That's just as big as it gets.
Okay. So that's probably do that. That seems solid. Okay. So stream is live. That's that. I think everything I have is correct. Guess I should get things moving along then. What break is live?
Are you gonna do like a small intro and then switch it over to me?
Yeah, that way you guys will also just know when the transition's live.
Okay.
I'll make sure to not count it out loud this time. So.
Yeah, I'll probably let Akiyama-san know just because I think that's why they were mixed up. I think in Japanese marathons it's just normal to like as soon as they switch over they just start. and then they
Yeah.
explain everything from there.
Alright. You-
じゃあ、
can
秋
you
山
ask-
さん。
はい。
No, go ahead, go ahead. What
I'll
are you
say,
gonna say?
Akiyama-san, 大丈夫ですか? Are you
はい。
good to
大
go?
丈夫です。OK。
Okay.
Okay. Alright.
Go ahead, Sion. You can...
Okay. じゃあ、秋山さん、先にはグルさんは紹介されて、後で僕も自己紹介と秋山さんの自己の紹介を
あ、はい
で。
OK、OK。
カウントします。
はい。
5から。
Okay.
Alright. We're good to go.
Cool. Here we go.
I'm nervous.
Alrighty. Welcome back. We are here again with more of SMT Marathon 3 Nocturne. I have, once again, Sion doing commentary to help out with Akiyabo-san, who is doing Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei 2. Very exciting. It's the first time we've had a Megami Tensei game in the Marathon period, in the 3 times we've done this. And should be really exciting. Should be a lot of fun. Without any further ado, I'll let Sion and Akiyabo-san introduce themselves, and we will go ahead and get started.
Alright, welcome back everyone to the, I guess you could call it, second part of Shin Megami Tensei Marathon 3. My name is Sion, and I am also Shin Megami Tensei speedrunner who will be participating in Marathon later. And here with me I have Akiyabo-san, a long-time Megami Tensei runner and speedrunner in general, who is going to showcase this amazing game, the NES version 2, which is... for this game, it's actually I could say the better version to run. So without further ado, I think we'll get started. So, Akiyaba-san, 大丈夫ですか?
ほう、大丈夫です。はい。Hello everyone. My name is Akiyabo. I don't speak English. 解説翻訳は、サイ・シオンさんにお任せしたいと思います。Hello, hello.
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。はい。
じゃあ、5からカウントします。
はい。
5、4、3、2、1、スタート。はい、いきます。Alright, so welcome everyone. I'll immediately switch over to the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. So, from the start, the very first thing that we do in this game is we get introduced to the Devil Busters, and it seems like we are in this weird dimension. I guess can't see the real dimension yet. But we are asked to name 3 characters. The first one will be our very own protagonist. The second is a girl that's mentioned to be the heroine, and then the third character is our best friend. The protagonist is obviously us, the character that we mainly control. The heroine is named Yumiko after the heroine from Megami Tensei 1. And our best friend is going to be named Surupon, which is also another speedrunner who was going to do commentary, but unfortunately could not make it. Right away we assign points, so it was so fast that you probably already missed it. For a hero, we put points into strength, speed, and luck. Speed and luck are probably the most surprising stats that we assign in this run, but I'll have plenty of time to explain why we do that. And for the heroine, we put all our points into intelligence. Intelligence in this run serves the same purpose as magic in the later games and also the remake. And it also affects negotiations, though for negotiations, it's kind of not as concerning in this run because there's a certain trick that we're going to use. But I'll explain that later. Right away, we get some money from a chest. We go to the store to buy 2 knives, one for each of our characters. We don't even have to worry about armor this early into the game because we just one-shot everything, thankfully. And our first mission is to get to level 2. we want to get to level 2 so that Yumiko can learn Dormina. And Dormina is key for defeating the very first boss of this dungeon. So we're just heading there and trying to get to level 2. In fact, we already did. The status assignments in this game are just so fast that I feel like I missed them if I'm not paying attention. Oh, we're going right away for Pixie. So, this is Pixie, by the way. I think I need to mention which demons are what, because not only is everything in Japanese, as you can probably already tell, but the sprites are also very different from most other games. Pixie is still resembles most of the Pixies you're probably familiar with. So, negotiations are some things that we're going to be doing throughout the game. There's plenty of demons that we need to get. And there's a certain trick to it in these versions of the game. And with these versions, I mean the Megami Tensei games and the Kyoyak Megami Tensei games, which were the SNES remix of the Megami Tensei games. And because we're going to get a kobold later, if all goes well, in fact, we might even get one before the first fight if we find one. I'll mention how we go about them. It's a Wendigo, not what we're looking for. And we're just heading straight for the first fight. Oh! Interrupted on the way. Okay, there you go. So, the first fight is Minotaur. Now, those who've played SMT4 are familiar with Minotaur and many other games. The original Minotaur was Megami Tensei 1 Minotaur, which is the one that this pays homage to. We defeated Minotaur very easily because we used Dormina, which for some reason works on Minotaur. And this is a trick for defeating him. That's actually how we're going to be defeating most fights in this run, with little tricks, I guess you could call them. For Minotaur is Dormina, for most other fights it's freeze and inflicting freeze and paralyzed status. So Minotaur goes down pretty quickly, has around 60 HP, and oh, Carbuncle. You know, I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce the name, I just keep calling it Carbuncle. But so you're gonna have to go along with it, because you'll never know. You'll never know if I'm lying or not. Anyways, okay. Carbuncle is here, and this is a good demon. I remember using this in my casual playthrough. We can get a Carbuncle either here or outside, but the sooner you get it, the better. Oh, outside? I'm already spoiling what's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know what I mean. What do you mean outside? This is the entire game. Anyways, we defeated Minotaur, and after defeating Minotaur, we get a sphere. And we need to go find a certain statue to give the sphere to complete the dungeon. I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, but I think it's basically impossible. Alright, we're just walking. Okay, here's the statue. And as soon as we give the sphere that we want to the statue, we released a demon called Pazuzu, who explains that 30 years ago or 20, you know, he said the number, but I don't remember. I think it was 30. 30 years ago, a big nuclear war changed the world and blew up everything, and now all the humans were forced to go into underground shelters. And also a weird hole in the sky opened and demons came out of them, so the humans now have to be fighting demons everywhere. But Pazuzu wants us to defeat the Lord of the Demons, Bile, so there's no more demons. That's like the main objective that we're told. And he also gives us the demon summoning program that allows us to now summon the demons that we obtained in the video. Oh, that was a video game, by the way. That was a video game. We completed the video game. The demons that we obtained in the video game to be summoned in real life. So we get back to real life. We actually get our stat increases that we gained in the game, as well as the demons that we obtained there. We immediately go and grab a couple of guns that we're now using, and we also get some money from a guy that we bet that we could win the game. He didn't believe it, so now we get some money. And there you go, we summoned the Carbuncle. Did you see that? When the menu opens up and there's that little map in the middle, that means that's like the main menu, and that map in the middle is just the map of the current area that we're in. and that's where we summon our demons. We're going to be healing up there all the time.
よし。
Okay, nice, nice. So, right away we need to get a couple of levels, and we need to get money most of all. Money is a little tight in this game. We need to get a lot of equipment because the boss fights are very strong. So, if we can defeat those orcs are part of a race that gives a lot of money in this game for some reason, so we're gonna try and defeat those. We also come to this dungeon called Hanada. Here we can choose to get a gun or a sword, and we choose to get the swords because you can only get swords in this game in certain story events or certain dungeon rewards, whereas guns you can always buy at stores, so it's just better to get a sword. And then we return back to the shelter, because the main objective that we had to do at that shelter still hasn't been accomplished, which is, it seems like some demon entered the shelter, and it's turning people into zombies, so we have to go and stop it. So now we're probably gonna try and get a kobold, and we're already level 4, so we're more than high level enough to get one. I'm not sure if that's completely necessary, if that's what... oh, harpy, of course, we also need to get a harpy. We already have carbuncle. We might even skip on the kobold. I don't remember if it's necessary. I think it might be necessary for fusions. I've never really played this. I mean, I've played this game. I've never run this game is what I mean. So there's some things that that I might miss explaining, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there together. So yeah, we definitely need kobold for fusions. So when we see a kobold, I'll explain how the recruitments work. Because again, they are different from other games. They're more resembling... It's a bit of a reach, but okay, not so much, but it's somewhat resembling of Last Battle. In which that they are more guaranteed than, for example, SMT ones. Okay, now we're saving, because the fight coming up can be a little dangerous. So it's just better to save. We don't want to reset right away. So there's one thing that we learned today after Shin Megami Tensei 1, is that we should not underestimate the very first boss fight. And you could argue that the first boss fight is a Minotaur, but that fight is easy, it's guaranteed. This is the first one that we might die to. So the very first fight is Nebulos, who had been turning everyone into zombies, just like I mentioned before. Nebulos has Zanma, which can one-shot everyone in our party, which is why we have to put all the demons up front. And there he is. A little different from the Shin Megami Tensei 1 Nebulos, but it's still Nebulos nonetheless. Thankfully we also have Zanma, our best friend Tsurupon has Zanma, so... Oh! Dead. Uh-oh. No! Not the early game reset. Oh, this is cursed. First it was Orias in SMT1, now it's Nebulos. This happens though. We only need to cast 3 Zanmas for him to die, but... You'd think it'd be easy. But at the end of the day, it's still Megami Tensei. It has a reputation for a reason. Okay, one more attempt. Let's see how this one goes. Demons up front. Here's the magician guy. Zio to stun him, Zanma to attack. Oof. Oh, ruthless. There goes the protagonist. The protagonist can die. If our best friend dies...
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Ah, oh!
Oh? Oh? How did he not die? Oh my god! Okay. This is tough. You know, we're just emphasizing how this fight can be tough and inconsistent. I'm actually surprised that one didn't work, even we cast 3 Zanmas. Maybe the buffs just weren't following through. And the thing is, this is same as MT1, but and I guess SMT1 as well. But I feel like those later games, they evened it out a little more. But for this game, even though you put your demons up front, it's just not guaranteed that they'll always hit the first one. It's more likely, but they might still aim for the humans in the back row. And that's exactly what happened there. Okay, that's one demon down. Using our swords, using time. Oh, there you go, there you go. Very good. We are through. Put our points into luck, put our points into intelligence, and what was that? What was the second one? I think it's vitality and intelligence. Fun fact, they named intelligence something completely different in this version of the game. They just used a different word. So for a very long time, when I was reading the notes, I had no idea what the word meant. But you know, that's how you learn. Anyways, Nebulos is dead. We are through. Isn't that nice? Our terminal in this run is these weird totem pole guys. They can tell you some stuff, and they also teleport you around. There were no computers in '89, so so they had to talk to totems instead. Yeah, it's crazy. They don't teach you that in history books. So after we talked to them, they let us know that there's a certain item that we need to get at the bottom of the shelter, and we cannot get that item if we don't go and talk to them. And what that item is a ticket so that we can ride this little turtle. It's not so little. This big turtle creature that lets you get around Tokyo. As you can see, Tokyo is mostly islands surrounded by water, so we need to ride these big turtle guys to get around. Kind of like in SMT1 earlier, but not so much like SMT1 earlier. Anyways, we keep defeating demons so we can get money. Exactly. See, chat knows what computing in the 80s was all about. Alright, we're at the bottom of the shelter, and we talked to the girlfriend. You know, I was looking away, so I didn't even see that happening. Everything happened so fast in this game. Anyway, our friend's girlfriend had the ticket for some reason, and so we give the ticket to the turtle, and we are off to the next area. Now, this area is the general Shinagawa area. Here we might have to adjust the moon cycle. There are certain sections where you have to adjust them. Oh, we're actually at half moon. I think that's perfect. Oh, no, it's 5. Look how fast that moon goes. I think that's fine though. Usually we just want to get as close to full moon as possible to pick up a certain chest. And before that we just stop by the shop and we get one more. I think it's a gun? Yeah, it's a gun. Yeah, of course. I just mentioned earlier that we can only buy guns. So why did I think it was a knife? I don't know. And we are also onto a new section, which means that there's more demons to get. Here's Dwarf. That's one of the demons that we need to get, and the other one is a Goblin, I'm pretty sure, and we got it. So I guess I should finally mention how negotiations work, but I feel like I can't, because if I blink for 2 seconds, I'm gonna miss the next section. I'm gonna have to wait for the downtime. So let's just keep going. Anyways, in this Shinagawa area... Oh, Goblin, there you go. Oh, never mind, you know what, maybe we don't get Goblin. Maybe Goblin's an optional one. I'm pretty sure you don't fuse anything with Goblin. Whereas I'm pretty sure you fuse things with Dwarf. So, you cannot skip Dwarf. In fact, if we hadn't gotten it yet, we'd still have the opportunity to get it later at Tokyo Tower. The same Tokyo Tower that shows up in SMT5, but a little smaller in this version. You'll see what I mean. And there you go. We got the chest. But I think it's a strength incense. Give the strength incense to ouch. You see the ouch pop up? Akihabara moves very fast, but it's very funny that in this game, when you bump into a wall, there's just an ouch thing that pops up. That's one of the things that I like the most about this game. Anyways, we are headed to the main guardian of this dungeon. Oh, there you go. See, now we're getting goblin. I guess we want to make sure that we're enough goblins to talk to them. That's the thing that we are going to be doing a lot in this dungeon, which is sometimes we talk to demons to annoy them into getting more demons to show up. So if you look at the top and you see those little demon icons, the ones that you might be familiar with from the press turn icon, that symbolizes how many demons are present in the fight. And sometimes if you talk to the demons, they get annoyed and another one will show up. So there'll be like 2 of them. That entire route can be filled up. So I think you can have up to 8 demons in a fight. Alright, we should just be getting money at this section before talking to the guardian I mentioned previously. And there you go, here's Orpheus, the main demon that we came here to. We're not gonna fight him. In fact, we're just gonna talk to Orpheus, who joins us, and as you can see, it's much stronger than everyone else in our party. We also need to get Orpheus in order to access the next dungeon. So Pazuzu mentioned that there's a witch that most people in this general Tokyo area follow. They believe in her word. And Pazuzu does not like that. So he wants us to go and fight her, I guess. So now we go through this underground tunnel. There's a certain fight here that we must fight, and I'm not sure if we're gonna fight it right away because I don't remember if somebody died to Neburos, because we did it so many times that I don't remember how that went. But we're gonna have to either fight her or not fight her. I'll fight her later, depending on if the protagonist died or not. Because the XP in this game, it's kind of like in SMT1, where sometimes it's better to fight boss fights at a lower level to then get a higher level increase by defeating a higher level demon, whereas keeping the same level as the one that all the demons have, or the boss fights have, will just make you level up a lot slower. This is in fact for the Famicom, yes. This is the Famicom version. Okay. So we just went back to Shinagawa to grab some more money from a chest. Depending on your EXP... Now this is very interesting. So I was reading the notes, and this is actually kind of hard to understand. But depending on the last 3 bits of your EXP level, you can guess what the outcome of that random chest is. Now, don't ask me how they figured this out, but you have to make sure that you have a certain EXP level, as I mentioned, to then enter that chest and get the money. Money is very, like I've mentioned, money is very tight in this run. So, unless you want to spend 20 minutes grinding for money, which is dangerous as well because you're gonna have to fight a lot of demons, you really want to go for these chests. And the equipment is also very important because if not, you die. So here's Jabberwock. I think we're trying to get it to spawn another... Oh, never mind. You know what? I don't think we fought it. Maybe we didn't need to fight it. I know sometimes we talk to these Jabberwocks to get more to spawn, like I mentioned previously, but I think we just got the Solomon key. And off we go. Now, what is the Solomon key for? I don't remember. Let me look this up. Anyways, we are in Tokyo Tower. It was that weird little tower that you saw outside. Tokyo Tower in this game only has 2 floors. So it's definitely not as big as it looks on the outside. We are now gonna meet the infamous witch that oh god, everyone's dying.
Oh.
Oof. That's not good. We're gonna probably have to go outside and heal up everyone. At least I don't think you can queue the next story event with our best friend dead. It's a pity that this convenient priest refuses to heal up our friend, but you know. Yeah, we're gonna go outside and heal up first. Okay, where's the chair? Oh, the Soul Mom's ring is a proof that me and our friend are the messiahs destined to save the world. That's what we get from the Jablock somehow. Don't know why he had that, but good that we have that now. You know, actually, I don't think the Jablock had it. I think the random guy that popped out in the middle, not in the middle, at the end of the fight had it, and that's when he gives. I've played this game actually, but you'd think I hadn't. How much I don't remember. But that's okay. What matters is that Akiabo-san knows the game, and he will beat it. Okay, summon the dwarf. And we talk to the witch. So, she asks us a bunch of questions, and depending on how we answer, we either side with her, or we side with our best friend, and I guess Pazuzu's point of view. Either way, we always have to have her join and have our best friend leave, because she actually is an impossible fight. It's just necessary to proceed with the story. So our best friend leaves and takes Orpheus with him, who's our best demon, so now we are left to get a lot of money and get more demons. We got Elf, we're gonna need Elf for a later fusion. We're also gonna have to grind for money now. So this is some downtime. I guess I can explain finally how negotiations work. So negotiations in this game have multiple options that you can take. You can give the demons some things, you can lower your weapon, you can persuade them in multiple ways, and the approach that Akego-san has decided to take that seems to be working every time is to persuade them 7 times, then lower your weapon, and then give them something. And if you do that, they are guaranteed to join. And now, because we need money, I think we're aiming for around 5k. You can keep track of the money over there near the inverted yen sign when the menu pops up and during fights. To gain money, we're going to kill a certain race of demons that just drop more money than the rest of them. Usually, in later games, it's usually drop more money, but in this game, I'm not sure if the dark type of demon still exists, but it seems to be something similar to that. This is indeed a Famicom game. So I guess it's as good as time as any to explain the stat assignments. So one of the reasons why this game has gotten as low as it has, maybe I actually don't remember how low it has, but it has gotten sub 3 hours. So it'd be amazing if you could see a run anywhere close to that. But the game has a lot of RNG, so I wouldn't expect a run that fast. But the reason why there's been such a big time increase, or decrease to be more accurate, is because another Japanese runner figured out one of the main mechanics for the speedrun, which is the escape rate. So before, just like in most Mega 10 games, the runners were just putting points into speed to increase the escape rate, but at a certain level of demons, it became almost impossible to run away from fights, so they would just have to fight them. And fighting takes a lot of time and takes a lot of resources. Some demons are just very hard to defeat. So not only was it time consuming, it was also just pretty dangerous. But then this Japanese runner figured out that the escape rate also takes into account the luck stat. And that's why we put so many points into luck, more so than in speed. And now that we're done with the grind, or so it seems, we probably just have enough money to be able to continue on with the run. We're headed to Roppongi. We're gonna stop by Roppongi to pick up an aquamarine, which is one of the many gems that we're gonna have to exchange throughout the run. And then we should continue on. There we go. Now, the reason why we got all that money is exactly because we need to buy new armor, survive. And so we get that armor, we equip it, and off we go. Now we are headed to Shibuya, which is the next part. Get this chest, which has a revival bell. It's probably going to be very useful against a pretty tough fight. One of the first very tough fights. Tiamat.
Oh!
Oh! Not the wyverns. Okay, we escaped. See, this is why I put our points into luck. If we were not lucky, we would not have survived that. And this is the general Shibuya area. There are many things here. We have some shops. Should probably stop by the shop first. Buy some Agi stones, first of all. These stones, we're also buying Bufu stones, obviously. And it's also the reason why we had to get so much money. Okay, so you see these weird statues? If you go around them counterclockwise, you're just transferred to the same area in Makai. We do this because obviously the demons in Makai are much higher leveled, so if you defeat a single one of them, you get a very big level increase. And we can defeat them using exactly the stones that we just purchased. Because... Okay, we're fine. Nobody died, we are cool. Again, we're level 18. We got 5 levels. Just from a single fight. What was I saying? Oh, the stones. The stones taking into account your intelligence stat. So, if you just throw a stone, it'll deal a lot of damage. Enough to defeat these Makai demons. So again, in Shibuya, there are different places we can go to. One of the places is exactly this dungeon, where this deity is worshipped by the people of Shibuya. We are going to ignore that, actually. We're not gonna address this fight right away, because we're gonna have to use it later for a certain skip, which is the reason why this run is so much faster than other categories. This skip does not count as one of the major glitches. It's just a cheeky little skip. So we're gonna do that. And now we're going to farm some gems. So there's just a place that you probably saw it earlier. It has a gem. It's a gem-like thing, gem-like material that we can collect, and then we can go up here on the second floor to the rack store and exchange it for an Estoma item. Now, if you've played other Megami Tensei games, you know what Estoma is. Estoma is a spell that repels lower level demons. Now, if you were to ask me if this works only on lower level demons or in every demon, I'm not sure. I think it's only on lower level demon, but it makes a difference because we have to go back and forth between dungeons a lot. So we're just gonna collect that material and exchange it a couple times. We also talked to an old man. You probably saw it for 2 seconds. He gives us a water ticket that allows us to go into the next part of Tokyo. I think it's to Ginza, and that obviously allows us to proceed with the game. How long is the Kuyak version in comparison? It's much longer. Some of the strategies that we use in this version just don't work as well in this one. But we're also not too aware of how well routed the KMT2 run is, so couldn't tell you. Maybe it's not even that long. But as far as we're aware, this version is the superior version in terms of speedruns. Uzon ran this version. I think he tried to route KMT2, but he ran this version. His run's on the board. The run that's on the board is also a very old, like for Akiaba-san, is a very old run at a completely different route. So what we're going to be seeing here today is going to be a little different. I have not been keeping count, so I don't know how many we have yet. We have to get a total of 5. Okay, we're good to go. We leave. We now leave the general Shibuya area. We're going to backtrack and we're gonna head to Ginza using the water ticket that we obtained from the old man. Okay, we've arrived in Ginza. Ginza is very big, I just noticed. Oh, there's the totem poles. Okay, we're gonna save. Just in case we die to the next fight. It's unlikely, I'd say. But you never know. We can now use the Estoma items, I think. We're not using them, but I'm pretty sure you can use the items. Maybe we're choosing not to use them. But we are high leveled enough that we can just run away from everything either way, because we got that big stat increase from going to Makai and defeating that Orphus that popped out. This is also Apsaras. Shoutouts to SMT5 Apsaras. Oh, Fornius! Okay, Fornius is a little bit of a dangerous enemy to show up. Oof, oh boy. Okay. Oh, didn't die, of course. Typical Fornius behavior. Okay, he's there. SMT Nocturne runners will probably find it funny that Fornius is such a dangerous encounter, but SMT1 runners are going to sympathize with this situation because Fornius can also kill your run if he happens to show up during your SMT1 run. And I don't know of any more Forniuses. We're just stopping by the shop, getting a bit more armor, going to get a three-pointed hat and sell some weapons. And get an incense from a chest. And then get some more stones. The stones are very important for the route. These early Meg 10 games, it was all about throwing items. And then started being more about using magic spells. And then in SMT5 they brought back throwing items, isn't that nice? Going back to their roots. Which KMT kept the ouch when bonking? Yeah, so do I. The ouch is so charming. This is not run on emulator, this is being run on actual hardware. If you go on Akiabo-san's Twitter, you can actually see a picture of the Famicom. It's one of those fancy Famicoms. That's not like the first one. It's like kind of round. How do I explain this? It's like the second version, but you'll know when you see it. Oh, for sure, it looks different on the CRT. So we're gonna have to heal because that one random encounter hit kinda hard. Ooh, another Fornius. Oof. Scary. Okay, we managed to run away. Might have to leave to heal up. It's healing up manually. Totem pole, save. And off to the corridor. So there's more underground. There's a lot of underground passageways in this game in general. It's very easy to get lost. There are basically two main ways of getting around Tokyo. You either take the turtle, and then after you get to the cities through the turtle, you have to take these long corridors to get everywhere. And they are impossible to navigate. They're so long. I remember getting lost in them for days. I would just pick up the game, get lost for 2 hours, stop the game because I didn't know where to go. But Akiago-san thankfully knows where to go and is picking up gems and the items that we need to get, and is now headed to the next fight. Now from this fight, we can head to the next handful of cities, but I'm getting ahead of myself because first we need to defeat Basilisk. Oh, this is also another one of those stones, and there you go, there's Basilisk. Now the strategy to defeat Basilisk is... oh, it's already dead. I didn't even have to say anything. We just throw a stone. I know what, it was not a stone, it was just Zyoma. Zyoma, you just use Zyoma. We're pretty high leveled compared to the demons right now, so you just hit them once and they're dead. We're also going to navigate these long corridors to get a pretty strong demon around level 25, which is around 5 levels higher than us. That is frozen in the middle of the corridor. And we can unfreeze it with help of an item we picked up. There's also Tsuchigumo over here. We are going to have to recruit it later. And before we head to the next dungeons, we're actually gonna have to do a little bit of grinding here. There's the Atlas. We unfreeze it, and it joins. And as you can see, it has a lot of health. Pretty strong. It can also be fused into a very strong demon, which is the main reason why we get it. Also because it's a free demon, why would we pass it? Now about the... Alright. Managed to run away, that's fine. That fight can be a bit dangerous. About the grinding. Oh my god, I'm just remembering just how easy it is to get lost looking at these corridors. Look at how many stairs there are. There you go. This is exactly the demon that we need to fight. We also gonna be picking up this, I think it's an incense. Give it to Yumiko. But the main reason why we're here is because we need to go back and forth in this door transition and talk to these, I think they're called cockatrices? Oh? Ah, 3. Okay, that was close. So, as I mentioned earlier, you can talk to the demons and annoy them into summoning more of them. And what we want to do is we want to summon up to 5 of these cockatrices. Ah, that was close. So that we can kill them all in one fell swoop and get a bunch of levels. And we have 1 stone to do that. So we really want to make sure we have enough of those to make up for having to use stone. Stones are expensive. Alright. Okay. Come on. Okay.
Oh!
Ah! God, that was close.
Ah!
Oh no.
Yosh, yosh, yosh. Hi, 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 hi.
Alright.
Okay, okay, okay.
Alright. Okay. We're good to go. As you can see, we got 7 levels, was it? So definitely worth it. We're around the same level as Atlas now. Our HP doesn't really compare, but we're strong. We're just putting our points into other stats. And off we go to the next one. Okay. We're going to navigate these corridors again. And now we're in Korakuen, which apparently is a real part of Tokyo. I thought it was just made up for this game. And there's this guy that has a big demon that's he's showing off about it, but we one-shot it. And he also has an... I think, is it the tally or is it the pillar? He has an item that we need to continue on with the game. Which one is it? It might be the win tally. Or win ticket. We also need to come here to Ikebukuro to recruit some demons and fight another boss fight. We're going to return to this dungeon later. It's quite a big dungeon. As you can see outside, it's a big building. So there's a lot to do here. Yeah, Earth Ticket. We're also gonna have to return to Gorakuen later. In fact, I think we might not. I think that's one of the things that we can skip. But normally you can go to Korakuen and you have to go there in a no glitches whatsoever run to participate in a tournament to get one of the pillars that you need to get to Makai. That's one of the main things that we're doing right here when we're defeating boss fights. We're both getting the ticket to be able to get around Tokyo, and we're getting pillars. So here we're going to fight Apollyon, which kind of looks like Abaddon, but it isn't Abaddon. I was very surprised when I saw just what this sprite looked like. The main strategy here is to use Rakukaja to defend, and then use Bufu Stones to freeze it. Atlas is also using a spell. I just realized it's called a Hanma Han in this version of the game. Isn't that funny? Alright, it's dead. Easy. Easy fight, easy game. Level 27, which is exactly the level that we needed to be by the end of this dungeon. So we shouldn't have to fight more fights. Probably just gonna fight the ones that we're not sure we can run away from. But as I was saying, due to a skip that we're going to do later into the run, you can skip picking up some pillars, and that saves a lot of time on going back and forth. One of the pillars that's tough to get is the tournament one. By the way, pay attention to getting to Chigumo. Get this perfect strategy of persuading it 7 times and then lowering your weapon. And then giving him some. Oh, he ran away. Oh no, did we get it? It looked like he ran away, but I think maybe we just don't get the pop-up saying, or maybe I just can't read it fast enough. It's more likely that. But based on the reaction, I'm pretty sure we got it. So pillars. That's right, pillars. The tournament. You can only enter your demons into the tournament, and it gets pretty. It gets pretty tough. The demons that you have to face get pretty high level. It's a good way to farm for money. I did that a lot in my casual playthrough. But here we head to the gate to the next part of Tokyo. We need to come here to spawn one of the fights. Basically, Mamon is the the guardian of that gate. He says that he wants Pazuzu's head to allow us to get through. So now we are on the quest to get Pazuzu's head. And we're gonna have to go back to Shinjuku. I think Shinjuku is where Pazuzu is. One of the other pillars that we don't get is probably the most infamous one from this game. At least I think it's the most memorable one, which is one where when you get to a certain dungeon, I think it's in Ikebukuro. I think it is in Ikebukuro. You're going to try and reach out for a pillar where your arm gets chopped off. So you're required to go to a completely different dungeon and get a prosthetic cybernetic arm implanted, and then return to the dungeon to actually pick up the pillar. But we skip all that because we can. That's the category. Okay, now we are back to Ginza. This is all just so we can do the Pazuzu fight. We need certain items to actually be able to enter Shinjuku.
Sure. Oh, shit. Okay.
Nice. That was a... Okay, I think that allows us to actually skip one of the fusions. Save some time. As we're going to have to fuse a demon. Yeah, Kimaris is one of the demons that we have to fuse. So that's one fusion animation that we don't have to watch. And now we're going to go back to Shibuya, buy some more items, or ever reliable Bufu stones. And I think this is where we get Naga too. So because we talked to that guy in the temple, let's see. Okay, we're actually going to actual Shibuya first. Probably get some more stone items. But before because we talked to that guy at the temple, we can convince Naga, who's in Makai, he's not even in our world, to join us. And we're gonna use him to fuse Seren Demon. You'll see. They had auto-attacking since the very first game. They knew what the encounter rate was like, and how annoying the game would be to beat if you had to do every fight. Okay, now we're just farming some more stone items. I think I already said it. Yeah, farming some more stone items. Good time to relax while no more fights are going on. Now we go around the statue to get to Makai and get Naga to join. We also get a sword, equip it on our protagonists, and off we go. I always think that you have to walk on the statue to get out of Makai, but no, you have to just walk it clockwise. Counterclockwise to enter Makai, clockwise to leave Makai. Don't try this on a real statue, by the way. stocking up on Bufugon stones, and off we go. We need to do some fusions before we head to Ueno. Not sure where we're going to be doing the fusions. We're going to be doing them somewhere. Always assuming the dwarves and other Tsire demons because they drop more money. Maybe we're just heading straight to Ueno. Now we're just adjusting the moon cycle before we enter the next dungeon. Moon cycles can highly affect your damage output, the encounter rate. I'm pretty sure New Moon is actually one of the toughest moon ages, but it might be the necessary one so we get to the fight at the highest possible moon. Now we're in Ueno. We're gonna get through this entrance we need to pay to enter this dungeon, and then leave so we can get one more pillar. Here's Leonardo. We're going to be using the good old strategy of throwing a Bufudine stone and destroying him. These fights just can't keep up. For now. They're gonna get much stronger very soon. One of these focus are just killed already, so many of these. Alright, there we go. And we are out of here. Now we're going to walk around this statue as well, so we can pick up a sword. Give it to our protagonists, and back we go. Now all that's left is... No, actually there's something we still need to do. Then we need to fight Tiamat, and then all that's left is defeating Pazuzu. Before we're going to finally fuse Undyne. Undyne is a very strong demon that's actually necessary to proceed with the story. So, the quicker we get this fusion out of the way, the better. Then we're going to go back to Ginza Underground to fight Tiamat. and then we're gonna go to Ikebukuro, and from Ikebukuro we're gonna go to Shinjuku. As you can see, we walk around a lot in this speedrun. I mean, I can't judge that. If I got a Bufu stone thrown at my head, I would not be in a good condition. Also, I agree with Lemon Kitsune in chat. Absolutely try Megami Tensei Last Battle 1 through 3. In fact, play play Last Bible 1 and 2 and 3, and then play the New Testament games that are just out on Switch and Steam. Play all those games. I love the Last Bible 1 and 2 speedruns. In fact, I submitted the second one. Didn't get in, but I'm sure you'll get in next time. I'll make sure I'll pressure the games committee. They can't keep me away from the marathon with Last Bible for too long. Oh, there's Tiamat. Okay, so I died to this fight like a million times, and look how fast we're going to defeat it. The strategy here is basically to just throw very strong Bufu stones, which freeze Tiamat and do a lot of damage. But look how many it takes. Even at our level, we're at high level, it still takes like 7 of those. We're not level 20, you know, we're level 29, we're not even that high level. But we're high level enough that you think, given how easily the other demons died, it just goes to show how much stronger this fight is. And from now on, the fights are going to get a lot stronger. Alright, back to Ikebukuro. We're now going to get the win ticket. I think. The win ticket is a bit out of the way, but it's necessary to get to the next part of Tokyo. To the big castle. Oh, actually, it was just right here. You know what? I forgot there was an elevator. I completely forgot there was an elevator. Never mind, we're out of here. We're off to Pazuzu. Now, to get into Shinjuku, we need this item called Bile's Claw. And Bile is the same Bile that we're gonna have to defeat later. But we get his claw for some reason. And this claw is necessary to open a wall in one of these corridors, which is the only way into Shinjuku. After that, I'm not even sure if we do this in the speedrun, but normally you can just bookmark the terminal and transfer there afterwards using your convenient totem poles. But this is the only way to get there, and that's exactly where we're gonna go. Back to these long corridors. Okay, now we're in Shinjuku. We're gonna go and meet Pazuzu. Pazuzu is on the 6th floor. I think there's also an elevator in this. Oh, we're gonna get Kawansha. This is the demon that we're talking to right now. Yeah, we're going to fuse later with Alice into a very strong and cool demon that you might be familiar with, but I'm not gonna spoil that. But yes, there should be an elevator here. Don't actually just take the stairs. Alright, so now we're fusing Kawansha with Alice into Kyuchulain, which is called Kufurin in Japanese, which makes me wonder if that's the correct pronunciation. But I'm going to go with my pronunciation instead, because I don't want to learn a new one. This is one of my favorite demons, personally. Oh my god, look how many demons there were in that random encounter. And with the help of our trusty Undyne in newly acquired trusty Kufurin, we're going to defeat Pazuzu. Who else are we going to use? Undyne, Gup, and Dwarf. Dwarf's going to use Tarukaja, Tarunda, Diorama, Tarukaja, Boof Stones, and Attack. That's the strategy. Not for Pazuzu, I was looking at the wrong fight. Never mind, forget everything I said. I'm going to use 2 Boof Stones, Rakukaja, Tarunda, Diorama, Tarukaja, and Attack. That's the strategy against Pazuzu. Look at all these nice suggested pronunciations in chat that I will not follow. So nice of you. Ku Kellen is how you pronounce Q. Chu Chu Lane. You know, everyone just chooses to pronounce them. We have to disrespect these names. Yes, we basically always get cursed here. There's just a lot of curse styles. What was that pronunciation? I already forgot it. Ku Kellen. There's no way it's Ku Kellen. Oh, I believe that the right, but I'm not denying that. I'm absolutely not denying that. Is that actually how you say it? There's no way. Am I saying it right? It's just as shocking as when I found out that Theon from SMT5 is pronounced Finn. So it seems that there's no elevator. I think I got lied to because we're going up the stairs. I highly doubt we just take the stairs if it wasn't necessary. Oh, I guess I should mention. So if you actually go to, this is obviously a restream of Akibo's channel. If you go to Akibo's actual channel, you can see a camera, and you can see how there are 2 controllers plugged into the Famicom. There's the main controller that he's playing on, and there's a second controller that that is constantly pressing B. So the way to have instant text in this game is to have a second controller plugged in, always pressing B, and that just removes the scrolling. I think that's very interesting and definitely not reproducible on emulators, so there's an advantage to actually playing on hardware for once. I guess you could actually turn on auto B in the second controller on emulator. But you know, it's not as cool. Look at that setup, it's much cooler. Kate Sif is sketchy. Yeah, I was aware of that because, again, because you see the Japanese writing. And oh, you know what? I just missed the part where we killed our best friend. So our best friend is here protecting Pazuzu, and we wipe him out. Also Orpheus. Remember Orpheus from the beginning of the game? Dead. Anyways, just like I mentioned, the strategy here is we're going to use 2 Bufu Stones, Rakakaja to upward defense, Sarunda to lower his attack, Tarukaja to upward attack, Diorama with Undyne to heal up, and just attack normal with Hero who has all the good swords. And if all goes well, he dies pretty quickly. Almost dying. You can see the little icon crown shade. That means he's dying. Oh. Alright, there you go. Pazuzu is dead. So now we have Pazuzu's head, which, if you remember, Mamon asked us to get it. So now we're gonna leave this dungeon and go back to Mamon to head to the next part of Tokyo. So we might need to grind a little bit here. We need to get more money to buy better armor. These are the best teams to defeat these Ein guys. They drop a lot of money. Look at that, level 31 with Yumiko. Okay, we're just exchanging a couple more emeralds. Not emeralds, but a couple more gems. Actually, we just exchanged an emerald, so I guess I wasn't wrong. There's only 3 gems in this game that you can exchange for items. Later, in 2 other games, they had a much bigger variety of gems that you can exchange for items and demons. And there you go. We're going to sell a couple of stuff, it seems, and we're going to buy more armor. Now we're going to actually leave Shinjuku. This area was completely locked up, which is why we couldn't just walk into here. But after we opened the barrier with Bile's Claw, we can now just walk back in. This is the Gap. This is the one demon that we're gonna have to use against Mammon. That has Turunda that I was mentioning earlier. I was like, where does this demon come from? Turns out I was just reading ahead. There's our ever trusty totem poles. We're going to leave Shinjuku and walk to the gate that Mammon protects. Kentaurus is a very nice demon, I remember that from my playthrough. Okay, summon all our demons because we have to get ready for this fight. Reorder the party. There's Mammon. There's actually an option to not fight him, I think. But we choose to fight him. For reasons I am not too aware, but I trust the route. So again, the strategy is to buff up, defense up, attack down for the enemy, use our Bushu stones to freeze him, and then keep up with Undyne and do some physical damage with our hero. After the third turn, we should be able to auto and just hope he dies. There you go. Good fight. Good fight. Now I have to go through this cave to get to the next spot. Oh, look at... Oh, it's a Jabberwock. Never mind. See, it's the same sprite. I was gonna say it's like the cockatrice that we saw earlier, but it's not. Just the colors are slightly different. I'm gonna go for this cave to get to the next part, which is where we are going to use the water... No, not water. The wind ticket that we got much earlier. see that little bridge over there. Oh, Hambaba. Hambaba. I remember this. It's a demon that we use a lot in Last Bible, actually. Remember someone was mentioning Last Bible. So we're gonna cross over to the other side. There's still a couple more pillars that we need to pick up. And then we head to the castle. This demon is Orobus. This might be one of my favorite Orobus sprites, actually. I'm not too big of a fan of the current day one. Oh, here's Tamazu. We need to recruit Tamazu. Tamazu is another demon that we use a lot in Last Bible 1. We're going to use him for a very important fusion. We play for SMT games and release orders for this Last Bible special on Game Gear. That was quite right. Yeah, I've actually never played that version. As much as I call myself a Last Bible fan, I've actually only played the original version. But I recommend everyone to play the Game Gear version. It's definitely the better one for a casual playthrough. Crazy sounds. Crazy Discord sounds. Yeah, Discord is going crazy over here. Yeah, thankfully, no, it wasn't just the Discord call dropping or anything. Alright, now we transfer over here. We're going to go to the next fight. I might have to ask Akebo-san to transfer the... not transfer. To redo the stream for Discord. Well, we head to this temple and we're challenged to... we're challenged to do a challenge. And basically we're transferred to this weird dungeon that has very bad visibility. Where we need to fight Vitra, which is a demon that we're going to see tomorrow in Devil Children as well. And in exchange for defeating Vitra, we get the Venus Pillar. Now, this dungeon goes by very fast. We just cast a Buffalo Stone and we defeat him. Yeah, I think we've been doing that the whole dungeon. Not the whole dungeon, the whole game. But yeah, that's basically that's the main strategy. There you go. Should be a fusion coming up, so as soon as the fusion starts. Oh, this isn't even that we need to get again. Not again. Why do I say again? That we need to get. Period. me see. Should be in Ginza to fuse. Okay. 秋葉さん、ちょっと、
はい。
合体の間に、OBS のコール、はい、Discord コールの OBS の配信が落ちて、ちょっと、さあ配信できることができますか？できること
はい。
できますか？
調整します。
ありがとうございます。
はい。ちょ。ちょっと裏で音声のトラブルがございますけれども、少々お待ちを。
Okay, the Discord keeps acting up. We're just gonna have to accept that we have to be here. You're just gonna have to take my word for it that there's some situations happening on Discord. Anyways, thank you, you didn't miss out on much. We fused this demon called, oh man, Papil Sag or something? Papil Sag? I just found out that it's like in every game, and I think I missed it in every game. Actually, it's not in SMT 5. I lied, but it's in 4. It's in 4 Apocalypse. I unfortunately missed the 4 Apocalypse run that was earlier in the marathon because I had to sleep to prepare for commentary today. But I'm sure it was a great run, and I'm sure to rewatch it on YouTube, and so should all of you who missed it. And I would not be surprised if it's used in the 4 Apocalypse speedrun. But yeah, it's the Scorpion guy. I don't remember seeing it in SMT 5. So now we're probably just gonna go back to that other Tokyo area and prepare for Bile's castle. We fuse our demons. There's one more dungeon that we could go to, which is inside one of the big turtle guys. We just approach the turtle thinking it's gonna be nice, and then it eats us. And I remember that dungeon because here's the thing: to leave it, if I'm not mixing them up, to leave it, you have to like give out half your money, cause some guy just stops you. And oh, look at Jack Frost! I love the Jack Frost sprite in this game. It's so cute. Okay, there you go. We're going to the turtle guy to sub. I feel like you either have to defeat the boss fight or you have to pay up to leave. You might have to pay up to leave anyways. Anyways, in my casual playthrough of KMT2, not this version, I had just finished grinding a ton of money so I could buy equipment, and then I entered this dungeon and I had to give out half of it. I will never forget. The betrayal. Yeah, that's right. We ride the little turtle and then the big turtle swallows us up. Yeah, I remember this part. There's always a Megami Tensei dungeon where we have to be inside something else. It's like a requirement for early Megaten. In SMT1 we're inside the heroine's mind. In SMT2 we're inside Abaddon. In SMT if we're inside that big pig, I forgot the name. Orc? It's not Orc. Horus? Oh, I don't remember. The SMT fans probably know it, I don't remember. So just take my word for it. This dungeon is also quite annoying to go through, but we know the way around, so it'll be pretty fast. And because we have like no money, it's not really that much of a problem paying up half the money that we have. Okay. I have heard that King Frost. I've heard that the early game was very tough in Apocalypse. For me, it was actually great for freedom. Hope he's not listening. But for me, it was great because I got to sleep half an hour longer than it was supposed to. So I was saddened by the occurrence, but happy by the opportunity. Alright, so we get over here just to get one of the pillars. I've already explained that we're collecting these pillars, and I'm still not sure if we get all of them. If we first get to Makai, then we backtrack to get the last ones at a higher level. But we have most of them at this point. I think the only ones we don't have are the tournament ones and the one that chops off your arm. But either way, we're gonna get to Makai without the pillars. Normally, we have to go to this collision site, put down the pillars, and walk counterclockwise to get to Makai. But we're gonna do something else, which is very cool. Can't wait to explain that. Shoot, we're almost there. Yeah, I love the arm chopping, was really cool. I was very confused when it happened. But in hindsight, it's probably one of the most memorable moments of this game. Okay, I wasn't paying attention for 2 seconds and we are already in Bile's castle. So in the beginning of the game, the big thing that Pazuzu explained to us was that Bile was the demon lord that controlled Tokyo. So by defeating Bile, we should defeat most of the demon problem in Tokyo, or so we're told. But as we're going to learn very soon, the demon problem runs a little deeper than that. But either way, we're here at the castle, and we're gonna do our very best to defeat Bile. It's a bit of a big castle. It's no SMT1 cathedral, but it's still pretty big. Encounter rate is high, as is expected. So we'll get around. Okay, we're probably just adjusting the wind cycle now. Trying to get a better one so we can actually defeat Bile. Bile is level 70. At this point, the fights get much higher level. And there's no way to keep up. You just have to find a strategy to defeat them. You're not supposed to be grinding or anything. Oh, look at Loki. Loki's a good demon to defeat because it's quite easy compared to most others and gives a lot of the XP. And we want to get as many levels as possible, because once we get to Makai, which, spoilers, we are going to Makai next, there's some demons that have a spell that, well, they suck levels out of you. You know, you've heard of Maka Beam and other beams. This is level beam, so it will lower your level. And it's as annoying as you might imagine. Okay, that was our friend too, I think. It looked like our friend. Our friend still isn't dead, apparently. No? Yeah. You know what? I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. Okay, he's not dead yet. He's there. Okay, well, we defeat him now. He might be then next. He came back. On the third day. I would swear he died in that one fight. You know, I must have missed it. It is a horrible mechanic, I won't deny it. It's like, what were they thinking? Alright, our friends on the floor, Bile, with his crazy ass sprite. Sorry, I said ass, but you know. It happens. It's deserved. I had to reserve my one curse word, you could say, for the Bile sprite. Look at that. Oh right, the strategy. It's the same strategy as always. We're gonna hit him hard, throw Bufu stones, Rakukaja Tarukaja Turunda, and try not to die because he hits pretty hard. Okay, so Bile is dead, we got our levels, and now is a very important part of the run. So after Bile dies, he gets transformed into a frog, and we have two options: to either kill the frog, or to take the frog with us. And we have to take the frog with us, or else we can't get all of the endings. We're locked out of one of the endings. And as far as I know, we are going for the ending that you need the frog to. So we take the little frog with us, and now we're going back to Shibuya. So normally you would not go back to Shibuya. Normally you would get all the pillars, so make sure you have them, go to the collision site, put the pillars down, walk around, and enter Makai that way. But we are going a different way. So for some reason that I wish I could explain, when you go to Shibuya, as we went there earlier, there's a fight that we skipped completely. Actually, that's one of the other pillars that we're missing, the earth pillar from the Balam fight, I think that's what it's called. And to do that fight, you need more than 7 intelligence. Exactly. 10 is for SMT2. And if you have below 7 intelligence, then you're forced to worship Balam. You basically get hypnotized. However, having less than 7 intelligence, after you worship Balam, if you use Traesto and then re-enter the dungeon, so Traesto doesn't actually exit you out of the building like in SMT1, it just puts you in front of the door. Like in SMT1 PSX version, not like SMT1 SFC version. So if you worship Balam with less than 7 intelligence, so you don't trigger the fight, and then Traesto, so get put at the door of the building, and then re-enter, and to re-enter that dungeon, there's basically 2 ways. There's like a reception, and then you gotta go through the reception. So you talk to the reception. Instead of getting past the reception into the worshipping area of Balam, you actually get put in Astroth Castle. So Astroth's Castle is a dungeon much later into the game, far into Makai. And this way we can skip a bunch of dungeons and just go straight there. We can skip getting some pillars because we can just backtrack to the other parts of Makai that we need to go to. And proceed that way. And it's very weird why that happens. I don't really know why that happens. But it's very interesting. You won't even see the difference. Because we don't get put outside of the castle, we get put to the lowest floor of the castle, and the dungeon tiles, the ones that you see around you, don't really change. So it's just gonna look like we're in this very same place, but then all of a sudden it's going to look like very scary and demon-like. So there you go. This is the praying place. We're going to heal up. As soon as we get to Astroth Castle, we're going to go right to Astroth, if I recall correctly. Oh, maybe we're still gonna grind some items before then, since we can do that here. No, never mind. We're good to go. Probably just gonna get some stones and then leave. Adjusting the moon cycle. It's probably more so for Astroth than it is for Skip. But we do need to have enough MP for Traport. Okay, get one more item. And here is the reception that I mentioned. We're gonna go over here and worship Balam, thing over here. Now we're going to Traesto, don't blink. Now we're going to re-enter again through the reception. And we should now be in Astroth Castle. As you can see, it looks the same.
Oh.
But That's a Hydra. Hydras don't really spawn in that very early game dungeon. Hydras we can actually defeat using some stones. We should be able to at least. And they give you a lot of EXP. So we're gonna get a nice level increase over here. Which is good because Astroth is level 105. So any extra level that we can get that might get sucked out of us later. But you know, let's hope not. But no, but they might. You know, the more we can get, the better. We still haven't even had to use the revival bell that we get at the very beginning of the game. Look at that. That's very lucky. It's a good run. I love this demon. Oh, look at it. Oh, I forgot about this demon. I love this sprite. It's maybe one of my favorite. Yeah, level 105 versus level 41, just like SMT 5. Right, Shaggy? Basically the same game. So now you can see that we're actually at the castle, right? Like this looks more like a castle. The tiles don't really update until you get to a different floor. Oh, is he here already? You know what? I thought it was a much bigger way into Lastra. So here's the strategy. We're going to use our Bufu Stones, attack, Rakasha Tarokasha to ruin the attack. It's kind of the same up until now. The problem is that Ashraf also has the equivalent of Bufu Stones. He can also freeze us. So we just have to try and get ahead of him. Prevent disasters from happening. Okay. Thankfully, freeze here only seems to last for a single turn. It's not like status effects in later games that last for however long they want to. Ooh, double poisons. Might have to kill up a little bit here using the Arahan. Freezing most of our party. The level 105 is showing. We also heal poison with Patra in this game. They still hadn't made all the different spells to heal the status effects. So Patra basically fixes everything. Not in MT1 though. In MT1 they're pretty mean. And they don't give you killing spells for certain status effects. They make you go all the way back to the beginning. There you go. Now that he's close to dying, we're just going to auto hope for the best. Fingers crossed. Ooh, another poison. Ooh, double poison. Should we stop? just doesn't want to die. Holding my breath. Oh, there you go, there you go. Alright. That's a good time, look at that. It's up to Astroff. Alright, we are out of here. But first we need to kill Yumiko, actually. So, because we're here early, it seems that if we don't leave the dungeon, or if we do leave the dungeon with Heroine alive, she gets taken by the recently deceased Astroff. It's just a bug because of the whole sequence breaking. So we need to kill the heroine, if I understand this correctly, before leaving the dungeon, or else she gets taken away from us. And then there's basically no way of rescuing her, I think. Oh, look at that, we're back at the reception. Or maybe, you know what, maybe you can just go back to the reception and kill, oh, I think we're actually doing the sequence again. Never mind. Maybe this is the way of getting around it. So you use Stresso to go back to the actual Shibuya dungeon, and then we did the bug again to return to Astroff Castle. You can only notice the change by the very different type of demons that show up. Their little demon that was dancing around is Mephisto, who's one of the main dungeons in Demi Kid's Icebook. Just sharing the knowledge that I unfortunately have. That game is not good. I don't recommend anyone to play it. I guess play it if you want to satisfy your curiosity. But I don't recommend it. Alright, so there are multiple things that we need to do in order to get around Makai. There are many different dungeons in different areas. Normally you start at the, I think it's called the Sorrow Valley. Oops. But we just skipped right to Lost Woods, which is where, not the same Lost Woods as in Zelda, completely different Lost Woods, which is where Astroff Castle is. So we should have to backtrack in order to kill certain fights. Kill certain demons in those fights, so that we can actually enter Lucifer's Castle. Now the encounter, as you might have noticed, is very high in these dungeons. Oh, there you go, Yumiko is dead. I think now we can leave. There you go, look at that. That's where the castle was. There's like a whole sequence they have to do in order to enter this castle, because these flowers put you to sleep or something like that, and then they take Yumiko away. But they can't take her away, she's dead. So you can walk through those tiles, no problem. Probably bookmark the terminal now. Do they also have totem poles in Makai? Yes they do, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't be Makai if you didn't have the totem poles. And now we're actually gonna have to go and kill the fights. Why did I keep saying kill the fights? I'm pissing myself off. We're actually gonna have to kill the demons, do the fights, so we can go from Makai normally. Kill the fight sounds like a tagline of a Suda51 game. So I have obtained the information as to why we have to go back to the beginning that I wasn't quite sure, but thankfully I have convenient those that Akiwa-san was kind enough to write so that I have some more perspective into why we have to go and backtrack. So, after Astroff Castle, or the Lost Woods, after the Lost Woods, there's only one more area that we need to go to. But in order to go to that area, we need to buy an item that can only be obtained in one of the previous areas. So we need to go back to the very first one, head to the second one, get the item, then transfer to Astroff's Castle, and then actually go to that area. But from what I understand, we won't actually have to get the pillars. We're just gonna go through the corridors that we go through anyways, but do them backwards. So I don't think we're gonna see Wu's arm in this run. It's a pity, but it's just the fastest. Kill the fights, help the demons, save the animals, you know, just typical speedrun things. Exactly. I'm glad to know the people watching know what's going on. These demons in this area are quite a pain to defeat. So I don't think these ones actually have the level beam spell. I think I'll recognize which ones it is that have it because it'll just trigger some post-traumatic stress disorder type symptom in me just by looking at them. These ones are just annoying because they paralyze your entire party and put everyone to sleep, and they just can't do anything. And then they're so fast at this point in the run because everyone's just high leveled. So you can't really run away either, you have to fight them. So yeah, it's tough. B-Man, don't encourage this behavior, please. We have to focus on getting back to Sorrow Valley, okay? We can't be talking about demon kids. The encounter rate is very high here, so it's a struggle. Thankfully, we'll just be able to transfer back to the Lost Woods afterwards. If we actually had to do this every time, it'd be a pain. These ones use instant kills if I remember correctly. Rarum is also a demon that we see a lot in Last Bible. But they are like early game demons. They are not nearly this strong. They're like level 3 or something. Yes, the soundtrack of this game is incredible. If I remember correctly, they put a special sound chip in the cartridge just to heighten the sound capabilities of the Famicom. God, these demons take so long to kill. We even have to summon Undone just to heal up everyone, look at that. So we go back. When going to... Actually, I think it gets bookmarked. So normally you need a special... Is it a ring? A jewel. You need a special jewel to get around these places. But I feel like just like the terminals, as long as you bookmark one of these, you can just go back and forth, and they don't even check if you have the jewel. Which obviously we don't, because we skipped all these dungeons by doing the skip. We're going to save up, just in case. I think we still need to go through. Oh, this is the demon that one cocky guy in the at the beginning of the game. Oh my god, I can't speak. At the beginning of the game had. I'm getting tired. Words are evading me. Oh, Mezuki. Mezuki we also use a lot in Last Bible. I feel like that's my commentary at this point of the run. I'm just pointing out the demons that I see that are familiar. And it makes sense because these were all the very old demons that they used for Megami Tensei 1 and 2, which they made around the same time as Last Level 1. It makes sense. What was I saying? Yeah, demon. Yeah, okay. We're now in Sorrow Valley. In Sorrow Valley, we are now headed to Asmodai, which is the. Why is it called Asmodai in Japanese when it's Asmodeus in English, which I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I'll leave that for you to figure out. As we've established, I'm not the best at pronouncing demon name. I was just reading the Japanese. Well, we're going to defeat it so we can get one more jewel and then get to the other area that we actually need to go to, and this one we actually need the jewel to get there, so that we can buy the item, so we can get to the other place. What was it called, the other one? Mount Fear. Yeah, I think that's the one, Mount Fear. We need to get to Mount Fear. This is the dungeon with the level named demons. This looks familiar. This boss fight is very easy though, it's just 8 hydras. As we've seen earlier when we went to Astroth Castle, we can just very easily kill all the hydras, so... So for this dungeon we actually need Undyne. Once you get here and you defeat the hydras, Undyne will offer to dive under that lake that you can see in the background to get a stone, and the stone is the jewel that we need to proceed. This might be one of our last recruits. Uperi. Oh, it's actually Uperin. We unfortunately don't get Onamuchi. That's one of my favorite demons from SMT2. Very scary in this game. But just not that all that useful to the route. Oh, Kushinada Hime! Shout out to Kushinada Hime from SMT1. Carries the entire speedrun by using his stomach the entire time. There he is, Asmodeus, or Asmodai as they call it in Japanese. So the strategy here is simple. We got the Operating just so we could use Rakunda. So now we have access to Rakunda, Rakukaja, Taruna, and Tarukaja. We're basically unstoppable with the whole array of buffs. Tsukukaja is not all that important in this speedrun. It wasn't all that important in the early games. That definitely changed for after Nocturne. But yeah, the strategy is we use Bufu and then Ziyama, and then after we set up all of the buffs, oh, the protagonist is dead. No, I can't even say what I was going to say. The protagonist is dead. Thankfully, we have that revival bead that we got in the beginning of the game, and we also just picked out another one here in one of the chests in this dungeon. So we're good to go. Asmodeus is level 80, so the level gap is increasing. It makes sense that it can get a little dangerous. That being said, Astroth was level 105, he still won. So after setting up all the buffs, we can just auto issue that pretty quick. There you go. Now we're now level 46, so, you know, they're not that high, that higher levels compared to us, right? Level 46. We cannot leave. Now, next up is Bile. We have the jewel. And we also have Traport, which makes it a lot easier to just get around. And puts us to safety a lot faster, not having to walk around in the overworld. And so we head to the next dungeon, so we can finally purchase that one item that I mentioned earlier. So we can enter the... what's it called? Mount Fear, that's what I called it. Just notice how the map of Makai kind of looks like a little guy. Anyway, off we go. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying. Now go to the Crazy Plains. That's what they are called. Crazy Plains are also full of fire. That's why Undyne went and picked out that one jewel that I mentioned, where she dove under the lake. That's so we can open up the fire. If I remember correctly, this dungeon is the one that has a lot of holes on the ground. When you make a dungeon, make sure to actually make each of the floors filled out. Like, don't just leave random holes everywhere so people can fall down. Oh, but it has an elevator though. Some fancy castles over here in Makai. Get some more equipment. Heal up. And there is Belial. The next fight. Now this Belial unfortunately is not like the SMT1 Belial that we saw earlier today. This one we actually have to fight. There's no convenient Belial pot to suck him in and then hand to Yuriko. But the strategy is the same as Asmodeus. We buff up as much as possible, we debuff him as much as possible, and then as soon as we are guaranteed to have lowered his damage enough, we can auto. should be close to dying. And there you go. Very nice. Alright, so we should now use our newly acquired jewel to get to the next area that we need to go to. Just go up first. This is Raffling. I think, you know what? I think this is the one with the level. I feel like I've been saying that for a while, but I feel like this is the one with the level beam spell. Right? Raffland. These poison tiles are actually quite strong. They're not like SMT 5 level, where 2 poison ticks and you're dead, but they're pretty strong. Also, that was the 9 tails. The one from Naruto. Oh, I hate myself for saying that, but you know, I had to. Anyways, we came all the way here just to get this gorgeous set. This gorgeous set is necessary to proceed with the story, and it's why we can't skip doing all of this. We have to go through 3 dungeons just to get this item. And now we can go to Mount Fear. Sorry. Okay, off we go. We're getting close to the end. Well, there's still like half an hour left, but maybe even more. But we're getting close to the end, in theory. Now we go to Mount Fear. We go through this cave, so we can head to Village of the Flies. And finally head to Beelzebub's Maze. We should first trade our Gorgeous set, which is the item that we just got, for Palace Stone, which actually lets us into there. But that's the way to go. Alright, we got to Village of the Flies. Might have to heal up first. Oh, look at how healing up has gotten so expensive, man. Thankfully, if we just heal Yumiko, everyone else can just be healed manually. Now we will exchange our Gorgeous set for Palace Stone. Heal the curse. That's why we couldn't heal everyone else, we had to heal the curse. Save at the trusty totem post. Have you noticed how fast the saves in this game are? If only the PSX saves were this fast, it'd make a big difference. Anyways, we just leave the village, so we go through here and head to Beelzebub's Maze. They do not want us to get through here. These door transitions always have the highest encounter rate, just like in SMT1. But in these other dungeons, you basically can't take one step without getting an encounter. Yeah, Gary McCullough really got big. Still blue, but a little bigger, especially when you look at Gary McCullough in SMT5. Shoutouts to Gozuki, which we also used in the last battle line. And now we've entered Beelzebub's maze. Thankfully we know how to get around the maze. Or rather, that was the path to get to the maze, to be more specific. Now we're in the maze. We're going to beat Beelzebub right at the top. Ouch. Oh, cursed again. Well, it was about time. Can't even play the curses forever. Ouch, ouch. Man, I wish they'd bring back the ouches. Maybe they'll put that in SMT 6. That'd be so cool. What are we hoping for in SMT 6? Well, maybe we'd need an SMT 5 Apocalypse first. But after that... maybe not the level scaling. Maybe not the level scaling. That being said, the SMT 5 speedrun gets around the level scaling very well. It does an incredible job. Shoutouts to Shaggy for his incredible routing that you all get to see later today. Alright, look, we fought so many demons that we even got a level. But we're almost there. Since it's 40 party member teams. Sure. I like my 6 party member teams, but 4 is fine too. Both debuffs going beyond 2 stages, yeah. I like that. 8, it might be a bit broken like in early Mega 10, but 4 is fine. More demons. Yeah, there weren't that many. I guess there weren't I can't speak. That many demons in SMT. No, there were still a lot of demons in SMT, but I guess more demons is always better. I like a lot of demons. Better voice acting. I like the voice acting. I can complain with the voice acting. More endings. Yeah, make the endings more different from each other, probably. Make them start early on is what I'd prefer. Don't make them just like the last 10 minutes. Make them maybe the last hour. And I'm speaking in speedrun terms. Obviously not in casual playthrough terms. Yeah, exactly, that's always the problem. There's also the problem that they put a lot of demons now in DLC, which kind of ruins everything. 2-stage buffs are good, makes them good, not too good. I like my Mega 10 games broken, Shaggy. Was SMT5 good? I liked it. Basically, I want more Devil Summoner games, this is what I'm saying. They can, you know what, do whatever you want with mainline. I just want more Devil Summoner games, okay? I want my 6 party members, I want my crazy debuffs, I want my broken reflect damage. I want Devil Summoner. More glitches so I can skip more bosses. Yes! Tell them, B-Man. I also want more glitches. I want more skips. I want more messiness. I'm not talking about Raido. I'm talking about the original ones. We're gonna bring up Raido. Alright, so we meet Beelzebub finally. And here's the thing. Remember when we got Baal? Or Bio, not Baal. Baal's a different one. Bio. That got turned into a frog and we picked him out because you said it was important. So it was all for this moment, not for this part where we died. It's on purpose. It was all for meeting Beelzebub, because when you meet Beelzebub and you have Bio with you, they fuse into Baal, which is a very strong demon, as you can see. 500 health, has a lot of very good spells. And this will be very important to access the ending that we want, and also to get an even stronger demon that we're now gonna head towards getting. Got distracted in talking about Devil Summoner, almost missed the thing that I've been waiting for the last 20 minutes. You're gonna hear me say that a lot, but I wish Alice had made a Soul Hackers-like remake of Devil Summoner 1. That would be my dream. If I could will any game into existence, it'd be Devil Summoner 1 localized, just like Soul Hackers, for 3DS. Actually, that's wrong, Asa. Last Level 1 is faster in Japanese. The English version is actually slower. But I think that's probably the only one. The other ones, it makes sense because it's like an English patch, but that one, the English version is actually slower. So we have to go to this island called the Frontier Island. Ireland? Frontier Island! Frontier Island, which is the only entrance to Lucifer's castle. In order to actually get here, we need to have Izanami saved, but I'm pretty sure we saved it. We do that way early. I think we do that as soon as we get to Astrov's castle. But so much happens when we get to Astrov's castle that I completely missed it. And there we go, we are in Lucifer's Temple. This is one of the last dungeons, but still not the last one. Because we're gonna get the ending where this one is not the last one. So the biggest problem with this dungeon is, as you might imagine, the encounter rate. There's encounters everywhere, but we're gonna try and run away from most of them. Some of them we really can't avoid. And get up to the 4th floor where Lucifer himself awaits us. Demi-Kids, no, but there is one Devil Children game being run. So Demi-Kids is the name of the localized ones, which were only light and dark. The Japanese names are Devil Children, and Devil Children Red Book is being run tomorrow morning. Morning for me, probably like dawn for the Americans. And it's the PSX version. So they were originally released as Game Boy games, but then they remade them for the PlayStation one. Those are the best versions, and that's the one that's been on. Also, I read that message that says, "Give me DS Raido remaster." As you wanted the Raido remaster on the DS. It took me a second to realize what you meant. Alright, so meeting Lucifer. I'm getting too distracted. So because we have Baal, which we fuse with Bio and Beelzebub, don't forget that, Lucifer joins us. Saying that he wants to fight alongside us so that we can unite to defeat both Satan and God and freeing humans from serving as puppets to the gods. You know the story. So now we're back at the collision site. And we're probably just gonna walk back to the last dungeon. I know you missed all these corridors in Tokyo, so we're gonna go through them again. So it turns out that the last dungeon was not Lucifer's Castle at all, but this weird company that's running under Ginza. And I wish I could tell you exactly why that is, but I don't remember the plot. Let me see if I can recall the plot. We have obtained the Suzuki's business card, which allows us to actually get into this area. This is the last area, as I've mentioned before. Not sure if we're gonna do any grinding, but the demons here are very high leveled, so it's a good place to do it in case we need to. But I don't think we grind anymore at this point in the run. I think we fought enough fights on the way to Lucifer's Temple. Now, this Suzuki company seems to run under Satan, who is the loyal servant of God. This might come as a surprise to many, but if you've played MT2, not MT2, MT2 is this one. If you played SMT2, it works the same way. So all we're gonna do is just head straight to the last fights. Now, despite having very strong demons on our side, these fights are still not guaranteed. They're quite challenging. So we're just gonna have to hope for the best. Here we go, Suzuki Company Limited. Here's Belphegor. So Belphegor is definitely still not the highest level demon ever gonna face. Belphegor... Oh, it doesn't say the level here, I want to know. I think Akiabo forgot to mention it because the levels are just so high at this point that we kind of just ignore them. They don't really mean anything at this point. But the strategy here is still to use stones and buffs and debuffs. We're still not gonna get the big boy out, Lucifer, but Baal is here to use Mediarahan and heal up everyone. Yeah, I know, it's so disappointing. But yeah, this is Belphegor, which looks exactly like Mammon. I think they ran out of sprites, so they had to reuse it. Very disappointing. Thankfully in SMT2 they fixed it. Okay, he's dead. Alright, here's Satan. Can't walk away for 2 seconds. So, the strategy for Satan is simple. We have to survive. We're going to Tarokaja, Rakunda, Tarunda. Tarunda is very important because Satan hits pretty hard. And we're going to attack the hero as soon as the coast is clear, and we use enough Tarundas to lower his attack so that nobody gets instant kill. And the heroine is now on Healing duty, just like Bao. Bao has Mediaron, which is the strongest healing spell that you can basically have. I think we're still throwing some ice stones to freeze Satan. I actually really like the Satan sprite. Oof, he's hitting pretty hard. Okay. We're autoing, so we should be good to go. I have to stop auto for healing. There you go. Okay, there's Satan. Very good. Alright, only one more to go. And because we have Lucifer, we can actually face this fight. And this scene looks very similar. Looks very familiar to all who played SMT2. That's because SMT2 stole this from MT1 or MT2. So we're going to heal up and face a certain demon god that I was sure Freedom defeated only a couple hours ago, so I don't know how he keeps getting back alive. All this healing up takes a little bit. And there you go, it's Yahweh, the original. We have two options: to follow his orders or to fight, and obviously we're going to fight and put an end to all this. So, same strategy as always, we're going to rock Okaja, boost up our defenses, Rakunda to lower their defenses, Tarunda to lower its attack. Very important. And Yahweh has many attacks. He also has a freezing attack, which can cause a lot of damage. But we're just gonna have to hope for the best. I don't remember who I was talking to about which is the hardest last fight. Ooh, there's a freeze attack. Oof, that's scary. I still think that Lucifer in MT1 is scarier than this fight, just because we get all these strong demons at the end. But we're gonna need some luck not to die here. Alright, we are autoing. Fingers crossed. Need to change tabs. Hopefully I won't tab right into Yahweh being dead. Or rather, I hope I tab right into Yahweh being dead. Alright. One more character dead. We have to stay autoing. It's the only way, it's the fastest way. Alright, we gotta heal up. It's scary. Can't die. Alright,
し
GG! Yeah, there you go!
よかった。
Alright, we just need to exit this dungeon and so the credits begin, and then we have to watch the credits. So the time is still for a while, don't worry, Google. I'll let you know.
No worries, you got it.
ああ、やった。
すごくいいランでした。
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Alright. And so we defeated Yahweh, and finally the humans are free from God's will until God revives, and the cycle begins anew. Whew. Wow, what a run. It's actually a very good time. So, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you liked this Digital Level Story Megami Tensei 2 run. It was a lot of fun. This was the first time that we got to showcase a Famicom run in Shin Megami Tensei Marathon, so it was an honor getting to commentate for Akiyawa-san, who did a great job.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
If anyone wants to learn DDS, not DDS, MT2, please join the Discord. It's linked on speedrun.com. There are not a lot of runners for this game, but there are many categories to this actually. So we can help out and make notes for all of them. This is one of the games that I've been meaning to actually pick up. So we can be the future. We can be the next. We can be the next influx of MT2 runners. But Akiyawa-san has some very good notes that I was following to commentate. So you'll have a lot of help if you want to pick up this game. If you want to pick up any other Mega 10 run that's going to be showcased for the marathon, also join the Discord and ask anything, any help you
Or
need.
just any Mega 10 game, period. Doesn't have to be one
Exactly.
that's showcased. We've got a lot of runners in a lot of different games with Roots.
Yeah, exactly. Just feel free to join the Discord, and all the runners will be sure to help. Alright, now we're going to get a recap of most of the fights. Some of them we didn't even do. They brought this back for Shin Megami Tensei 2, which is why the credits there are so long. So we're going to be here for a while. Girlfriend! I forgot about the girlfriend. I forgot they did this in the credits, that's so funny. Alright, they're introducing every character, so just enjoy the show, and as soon as we get close to time, Reception for Balam is the real heroes of this run, because that's what allows us to skip to Ashraf Castle. That's cool. Oh, these credits are so funny. And Naga, we pick up Naga. Yeah, it's a good recap of everything. Alright, so we have around maybe 3 minutes of credits. I'll think if there's anything else I need to say. Obviously, stick around for the rest of the runs today. We have TMS coming up and also SMT 5. Both runs are going to be very cool. The laboratory that we never even go to, that's the one that give you the cybernetic arm. But we didn't lose the arm, so we don't get there. Manmon. Inspection. I think it's really cool how they just decided to do all of this in English. All these credits, even though friend. I didn't remember that. Oh my god, that's ruthless. Okay, can you tell I'm getting tired? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, wow. Oh, obviously I should mention that this game has an English patch, so if you want to play this game, you can actually play it in English. It was released like last year. It's a great game, so you should definitely play it. Lucifer's Shrine. That's an interesting way to spell Lucifer. Okay, we're getting close to the end. YHVH. Alright, it's when this animation ends. In time. Or is it unfair? I'm not sure.
I already split, so we're gonna call it there.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It can just be retimed afterwards. Alright, there you go. GG's everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna pass it over to Emily with TMS, right? Yes.
Yep.
Alright. キャボさんお疲れ様でした。
ありがとうございます。お疲れ様です。
すごくいいランでした。秋山さん。
Thank you.
Y'all are muted. Akiyama-san,
Alright.
you can cut your stream.
ありがとうございます。Thank you, thank you.
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get some sleep. And this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. Hi, 秋山さん、解説、させることありがとうございます。
いえいえ、ありがとうございます。本当に助かりました。また、
ありがとうございます。
また
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。また僕も、新女神転生頑張りますんで、もしよかったら並走一緒に走ることをいつかやりましょ
う。いつかしましょう。はい。
はい、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。はい。
See you.
Alright.
はい。
バイバイ。
バイバイ。おーし、終わった。終わったどうも。いやー、どうなるかとは思いましたけれどもね、なんとか走り切りました。ネビロスで2回落ちった時はもう終わったと思ったけれどもね、それ以外は、そうね、ベルゼブブのハエの穴で実はパピルサグを捨てたのは、あれは完全にね、間違いです。いやでも結果的に間引いてデスルした方がちょっとだけ早かったのかな、わかんないね。あんまりタイムは変わらなかったと思います。まあ最後のね YHVH 戦がね、ちょっとオートが早すぎて 主人公がお釣りかけましたけれども、なんとかね、無事に終わることができました。ありがとうございます。じゃあまだツイッチの方がついてるんで、外向けの発言を。英語の解説をしてくださったサヨニウスさん、シオンさん、本当にありがとうございます。直前まで僕は日本語で何か喋っておけばよかったのかなと思って台本を作りましたけれども、シオンさんのおかげでね、本当にアメリカの方々がね、とても興奮されてたようですごくね、助かりました。どんな発言をしていたかは、まあ、後でちょっと Google 翻訳さんに頼ってみますけれども、本当にね、助かりました。女神転生2はね、僕が本当にもう昔から好きなゲームで、今回これをね、海外向けに走ることができたので、とても光栄です。本当にありがとうございます。日本の RTA 大会でもなかなか披露する機会ないんで、今回本当こういったね、やらせていただいてね、もう感謝しかありません。こうやって海外の大会にも出たことなんで、これを機にね、我が RT ビームでも海外奏者との交流を図って、どんどんね、海外勢と、女神転生など他のゲームも含めて、いろんなところでね、レースを一緒に走ることが、一緒に走って、交流ができたらいいなとは考えております。本当に素晴らしい大会を開催してくれた運営の方々、解説を快く買って出てくれた、シオンさん、もちろん偉大なる、先駆者であるビーム兄貴、それから画期的な解析によりね、革命を起こしてくれたシャルル・ディフさん兄貴、それから、実はね、この大会に応募する本当のきっかけとなった、ツーポン、ありがとう。じゃあツイッチの方は終わろうかね。はい、ツイッチ民サンキュー。あんまりコメント見てないけれども、少々お待ちを。はい、じゃあツイッチ民ありがとうございました。じゃあツイッチの方は切ります。はい、今はニコニコだけになりましたね。終わったね、やったね。おー、よかったよかった。よかったよかった。疲れた。死ぬかと思ったね。もう本当にね、ランダム宝箱4回連続外すときはね、なんじゃこれはとは思ったけれどもね、なんとか3時間ちょいで走ることができてよかった。よかった。よかった。最初のアメリカにメンツが立ったわ、ありがとう。なんとかね、なんとか、ちょっとごめんね、あんこちゃんを再起動します。ごめん、ちょっとバグってるわ。すまん。実はちょくちょくとその裏の、運営さんからディスコードの音声がどうのこうのとか指摘を受けたり OBS の調子がといろんなご指摘を受けたので、そこがすごい申し訳なかったなと、感じました。ただ僕自身が何が、音声周りが何のトラブルがあったのか全く把握できなかったんで、やっぱり
やります。あんこちゃんを起動しました。
日米との、言葉の壁を感じてね、ちょっと難しいものはありました。でもね、運営の方々のサポートのおかげでね、本当になんとか走ることができましたね。結局、向こうの視聴者も600人ぐらい来てたみたいで、ありがてえね。 実は今回むちゃくちゃ台本作りまくって、シオンさんに台本をお渡ししたんですけれども、まあ本当いい感じに翻訳していただきましてね、まあ後で必ず私も逐一、Google 翻訳さんとかにね頼って見ていきたいと思いますね。カメラはもういいか。本来はこういったことは自分で解説して、視聴者さんとねいろんな交流を図って、雑談も交えてやらなければいけないかったんだけれども、さすがにそれをやる余裕もなく、もっと言うならそもそも、直前までどういう段取りで、配信をするかっていうのがちょっとわからなかったんで、探り探りだったんですけれども、またね、何かの機会でメガテン2をね、披露する機会があればね、もうちょっとエンタメ要素も加えて、楽しい配信、楽しい大会にできたらいいですね。そうだ。ビムラジはまだやってたのか。まあこれでちょっと一仕事を終えたんで、私は明日は、RIB の大会 PV 作り、あと10米のバランス調整とかね、裏のジムがまだまだあるんで、休む日はあまりないけれども好きでやってることなんでね、頑張りたいと思います。今日は本当すごいメガテン関係のニュースが多くて、ピピオさんがねニュートラルルート2時間切って本当おめでたいことと、シューバーニキがね9時間弱でペルソナ3を走ってたんでやるなぁと。本当今日はいい日だったと思います。はい、じゃあコメントしてくれた方々本当ありがとうございました。僕は、できれば生声で誰かにいろいろ伝えたいことがあったけれども、さすがにもうど深夜でみんな眠っているでしょうし、ここで閉じたいと思います。本当ありがとうございます。サンキュー。じゃあ閉じます。はい、はい、ありがと
お疲れ様でした。おっ
う。
つおっつ。
メガテンはいいゲームだった。
おっつおっつ。お
サンキュー。
疲れ様でした。
はい、サンキュー。
お疲れ様でした。
はい、ありがとう。